Hello, my name is Matt, and it has been nearly 3 months since I stopped steadily uploading stock speedrun videos. This is because I wanted to integrate some kind of weighted choosing mechanism into my dashboard here, which you can now learn about in the video description. It took so long because it ended up being much harder than I thought it was going to be, but I eventually got it done, and shout out to the devs over at socialsentiment.io for helping me with that integration. So, how am I choosing to celebrate the completion of my new dashboard here? Well, it is by not using the new features at all, and instead doing requests that had been piling up. Bummer, I know. But I really wanted to get to these requests because they were requests to revisit companies that I did speedruns of over a year ago during the original series. First up is Alexander's. Requested here by Matt Thomas. Cool name, by the way, Matt. First thing I need to say here is that if anybody is ever wondering if I buy shares of the companies that I cover here, 99% of the time the answer is no. I do these videos for fun, and the companies that I cover here, Alexander's is no different, are by and large random. If I ever come across a company that I happen to hold or have traded in the past, I always volunteer the information up front, but always assume the answer to this question of did I buy shares or have I bought shares is no. I have my own personal portfolio that I keep, which is entirely independent from the speedrun videos that I make here. So, with that out of the way, let me get to the company itself. During my first speedrun of Alexander's here, I gave it a buy rating, mostly for two reasons. One, because I didn't see anything that was a screaming red flag, and I saw a few things that I liked. And two, and probably the biggest reason, honestly, was nostalgia. Because, as I learned, this was the company behind a department store that I remembered from my childhood, and I thought it was cool learning more about it and its history. Not terribly great reasons, I know, but so this time around, I'm going to make my best attempt to throw off the rose-colored glasses and try to evaluate these guys as objectively as I can. So with that out of the way, let's head back here, and I will type ALX into my magic box here, and let's go ahead and get this started. Let's see what Alexander's has been up to over the last year. Now, I am not surprised to see that it is lower from where it was when I did the speedrun. When I did the speedrun last year, it was at 270. I'm not surprised to see that it is lower, given how the market has behaved over the past year, especially this year. In fact, first thing I want to see here is year to date. This actually ain't bad. I mean, yeah, sure, it has fallen since August, but honestly, I'm surprised that in August it was able to recover back to where it was prior to everything starting to crater. This is actually a fairly impressive, again, lower on the year, but everything is. Go ahead and point to something that isn't, I challenge you. But I think it has been surprisingly resilient here. And something else I'm noticing, something that I pointed out in my first speedrun video, is this massive monster dividend, which does not seem like it has changed, despite the fact that the stock price is even lower than it was back then. So if I thought this was a fantastic dividend for that price, or at least a very good dividend for that price back when it was 270, you better believe that I'm going to think the same when it's 208. So I like that. And in fact, you know what, I just want to make sure, because sometimes Yahoo's information is a little outdated, because it can take a bit to get current here. It's very possible this might just be a text in a database somewhere. I don't know. So what I want to see is open letter. I don't know what that's about. Hold on. I'm going to take a look at that later. I want to see more about the dividend. Declares quarterly dividend. So I'm seeing this article about quarterly dividends of $4.50 per share. I don't have a calculator in front of me. I can. Actually, no, I don't need a calculator. 450 times 2 is 9. And then 9 times 2 is 18. So there you go. There's your $18 dividend per year. Not too bad for a stock that was 270, in my opinion. And definitely not too bad for a stock that is now 209. So it's nice to see that they are still paying that fantastic dividend, despite the fact that you were actually getting a bit of a discount if you were to buy it here. Let's see, 1 year, 5 year. I believe I did this back in March or April of last year. Yeah, that's about when it was 270. And yeah, it's slipped some. I kind of wonder how much that is due to market conditions, and how much that is due to just the company in general. What the hell is this giant blue bar here? What is this? That is not possible. Okay, I want to go. No, you know what? You know what I should do first? I should. Geez, what should I look at first? I want to look at this. Oh, I'm just gonna open everything that I want to look at. I'm gonna look at that. I want to look at. You were 29% loss from investing in the stock 5 years ago. Well, yeah, I know, but it's 2022 and everything is garbage, so that doesn't really speak to much. Second quarter earnings release date. That's only announcing the release date? Where's the actual earnings? Oh, there's the earnings. Which, why is quarter one empty here? I think this data is messed up. Something is wrong here. And that's the second quarter. Net income for the quarter was 14 per diluted share compared to 29 for the quarter ended last year. Net income of the quarter. What was the... I don't see an expectation. Maybe there isn't one? I mean, that would explain why I don't see a chart here anywhere as to how they did versus expectations. So maybe there were no expectations. I don't know if that's good or bad. Because maybe people are saying it's like you're not important enough for us even to guess what you're gonna do, which is kind of weird. But whatever. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is... It's kind of hard to say how good this is. Without some kind of expectation. But, I mean, you know, they're not losing money, so that's something, I guess. That's the article about the quarterly dividend. I'll read about the open letter later. I want to find out the earnings. I want to look for quarter one. What's the deal with quarter one? Quarter one, FFO, what is FFO estimate? And actually, I saw an article about FFO for quarter two. Oh, yeah, this. What? So this is estimates, but what are FFO estimates? I don't think I've ever heard that term before. Maybe a good topic for Learn Along, which I also haven't done videos of in some time. Account of the quarterly funds. Funds from operations. That's what FFO is. Okay, I thought maybe FFO was some kind of... I might still want to learn about funds from operations. I don't know what that means. 432 per share, beating the... Oh, there was an estimate. 414. This compares to FFO of 412 per share a year ago. But what is the difference between FFO and... Oh, I'm sorry, this was income. For diluted share for the quarter. So I'm guessing... Per diluted share compared to per diluted share. Okay, I'm not understanding a lot of what I'm seeing here. Maybe it's just that I don't really understand my definitions well enough. But how can you have 289 here, but 432 here? Maybe it's how funds from operations is... Because funds from operations, like in my head, I'm translating that to income. So why is it not the same as income? Here, it quotes funds from operations here too. Net income for the 6 months ended. This isn't for 6 months, is it? No, this is quarterly. You know what? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up what funds from operations are, because what I'm seeing here ain't making sense to me. So I'm gonna make a note to do that. FFO. Look up what that was, possibly as part of a learn along video. Let's see here. So, and you know, it seems like FFO, maybe for a company like this, maybe for a real estate investment trust like this, FFO is the true number that you should be paying attention to, because that's what it seems like all of these articles are paying attention to. Because Zach's apparently had an estimate of the FFO, but no one gives a shit about their, you know, their income, because there is no estimates. No one's paying attention. So maybe that's the case. Maybe this is a more important number for a real estate investment trust. Anyway, so paying attention to the FFO, quarter 2 did well, quarter 1 did well. Got 425, expected 422. It was higher a year ago for quarter 1, however. But still, you know, not bad. They're not doing bad. And also, that kind of blows out of the water this, as to why there's no quarter 1 here. I think we proved that this information is just bad. So I want to go look at what the actual numbers for quarter 4 might be. Lags quarter 4 FFO and revenue estimates. Uh-oh. This guy here with the binoculars, he is not amused. You know, the quarterly funds of 423, missing 429. Okay, that's not. Come on, it's 6 cents, right? That's. I mean, I'm kind of more concerned with this, the fact that it was higher a year ago, not just for quarter 4, as we saw, it was higher a year ago for quarter 1. Quarter 2 ended up being higher this year, I believe, if I remember correctly. So, you know, not stable. Stable, I think, is the word I'll use here. It seems like their earnings, or at least their FFO, funds from operations, are stable, because they seem to be staying in a decent, constant range from year to year, is what I'm noticing here. And that's kind of what I liked about this company the first time around, is that it seemed very, very stable. Again, one of the things that I liked last time is that I didn't really see any big red flags, and I'm not seeing them here either. Stable is definitely the word of the day for this company. Okay, let's see. Is there anything that I want to look up? I can't really think of anything that I want to look up. Ooh, apparently quarter 3 they missed also. How much did they miss by? Ooh, okay, this was surprisingly big. Although I wonder why Zach's was expecting so much out of it this quarter, because 483 is the highest estimate we've seen from them so far. But still, better than $3 per share a year ago. So, compared to a year ago, they blew quarter 3 out of the water. Well, actually, quarter 3 of 2021 was comparing with quarter 3 of 2020, and we all know 2020 basically didn't happen from a financial aspect. So that may not actually be that big of a selling point. It's still something to note, but you might want to put an asterisk next to that note. Still, I kind of want to say this is a buy, because I don't see anything that I don't like. You know, it's not exactly spectacular. If you want to buy it, you have the dividend to sit on, which, you know, ain't bad. I would be surprised to see it to continue. So market conditions notwithstanding, what I mean by that is that I can definitely see it falling more if the market falls more, but I don't think it will fall more out of its own volition, if that makes sense. Or rather, out of its own fault. If that makes sense. So let's see, what conversations are going on in here? Inflation devalues your dollars. Oh, thank you so much for the insight, idiot. Let's see. They recently sold a property and needs to reinvest. That's right. They sold the IKEA property to IKEA. The property that was sitting on, they sold it to IKEA. I remember learning that in the speedrun that I did last year. In fact, you know what? No, I want... It would be nice if I could find a convenient list of property sales they've did. How can I find that? I'm not sure. Yeah, sure, let's take a look at holders while we're here. Oh, that's a pretty good insider share. Wow, that's a big insider hold. Holy crap. Well, when you look at it from this, I mean, that's still a lot. Of the float? Like, yeah, the float. That's still... there's almost nothing left for the retail investor to scrounge up. So get it while it's hot, maybe. I want a list of the properties they have. List of properties. Is this it? Six properties. Oh, this is their actual website. Non-current liabilities. Right, I don't know what this whole huge list is because their own website says that they only manage 6. So let's go read about the 6. 6 properties, Greater New York metropolitan area, consisting of 731 Lexington Avenue. I want to look. We're gonna go to Google Maps. A pretty ritzy looking building. Is that just an office building? There's nothing in it. There's no kind of business in it. You got Bloomberg in it. You got Bloomberg office spaces. Okay, that's pretty swanky. Let's see what else. Retail, Rego Center, complex Rego Park. Never heard of it. Queens. They own all of Queens. I just like how you can read that sentence that way. I think that's amusing. I mean, again, my reasons for giving this a buy last time were not all that strong, but I honestly think that was still the correct call. Yeah, sure, you can make the argument that well, how can you say that your buy call was correct when it has dropped $70 since then, Matthew? How can you say that? It's like, okay, well, you know, cool your tits, all right? I'll tell you why. I probably shouldn't have said that. I'll tell you why. So, yes, if you had bought it, and again, these videos aren't financial advice, do your own research, make your own decisions, but if you had bought it during the time of that last video, yes, you would be down $70 on the share price itself, but you would have collected probably a year and a quarter, maybe 2 quarters worth of dividends, so you would have gotten back 18, 22 and a half, 27? Did that math right, yeah? 18 plus 9. That's 9 times 3. You know, yeah, 27. You would have gotten $27 worth of dividends back. So you are really, theoretically, only down, let's see, 70 minus 27 is 43. You're really only down $43, which you might have been able to make up if you had been doing things in the meantime, such as selling covered calls against your position, which in a market like this, assuming you can get them at the right price, I would highly advocate for. So that's one argument. And the second argument is that the downturns it saw over the last year or so were all coincided with market conditions. There's really nothing you can point to in the company itself and say that's the reason why it fell. It's because it was dragged down with everything else. You know, Apple had a terrible week this last week. Are you going to say Apple's a shit company? No. Because it got dragged down with the market, just like this. So that is my arguments for why I don't think the buy call was wrong last time. And I liked everything I saw. It seems like a good company to me. They have that monster dividend. They got a lot of insiders holding it, which is nice. Institutions apparently want it also. This is a good company, it seems like. And this isn't me wearing the rose-colored glasses, no. This is me saying that I like this. Oh, what the hell's wrong with my mouse? There it goes. Yeah, I like this. I hit the buy button for this first over a year ago, and I'm going to hit it right now, which I just did. So it is a buy. However, but even the internet doesn't know. So a new feature of my integration with the social sentiment AI is that whenever I make a call on something, it shows me what the sentiment on that stock is in things like, you know, general social media. So I can get some instant feedback as to whether or not I agree with the general sentiment of the internet on something. However, this is the message that it shows me if there is no sentiment, if there is nobody talking about a certain company such as Alexander's, which apparently nobody is, which is unfortunate because this seems like, again, not a bad company to me. That's why I gave it a buy. So that's kind of sad. I feel like people need to talk about this more. I want to see more chatter on these guys. And yes, I did put my rose-colored glasses on in that last second. That is why I want to see more chatter, not because it is just a good company, which I believe it is, but also I think it deserves more general recognition. Because again, it was a part of my personal history, my personal childhood. And for more info on that, you can see the old video. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say, and I'll see you in the next one.